Yeah, my father, Robert Holdman, is responsible for saving hundreds of lives in the Vietnam War. Supposedly, he was a gunner and he was going to drop a bomb on this village, but he realized.
Hey, thanks for clicking this video. The two men you saw in the photos at the beginning of this video are my grandfathers. Their service and careers in the military helped provide a solid foundation for their families and opened up opportunities for my parents and their siblings. Particularly with my mom's family, her father's military service paved the way for them to become naturalized citizens here in the United States. So I wanted to see how the military service of loved ones has impacted other people. The day before Veterans Day here in the US, I took this video camera and I asked people this question that I have for you right now. Who in your life is a veteran? And what does their service mean to you? Feel free to comment your answer below, subscribe to this channel, and if you stick to the ends, one of the US Army veterans I spoke to will sing a powerful rendition of the song, Amazing Grace.
My husband, Garland Lockhart Jr.
My grandfather's a veteran.
So two of my uncles were in the Marines.
He is very special to me because he helps in the military. He had helped many people on special assignments, communications, and I'm very proud of him, what he does. He's a very good soldier. When he goes in, I know wherever he is working, he's doing his best to serve his country and to love his fellow man.
He gave something for his descendancy and for his generation's descendancy, in a sense that we now have a duty to fulfill, that whether it's overseas or not, it must be fulfilled.
My grandparents always had their photos up in the house of when they were in the Marines, and I just remember being little and just always being so proud of that and so excited about that. And one of my cousins he was in the Army and was stationed in Afghanistan for a while, and I used to write him letters, and I was just always so proud and so inspired by everything he did, and I just think it's incredible to be able to do that for your country.
So who in your life is a military veteran, and what does service mean to you?
In my life, I'm a veteran. I served during the Gulf War.
Myself, I'm Desert Storm and Enduring Freedom.
My father served in the Vietnam War.
My brother, who was part of the Big Red One, but he saw action in Vietnam.
My grandfather served in World War II, and my great-grandfather served in World War I.
My oldest brother was Korea War.
Being a veteran means to me, it means sacrifice, it means pride, it means supporting and loving the country, and it means brotherhood. No matter where you're from, whether you're from a small town or a large town, everybody comes together with a common goal and a mission to support one another and put differences aside for the greater goal of the country.
So who in your life is a veteran, and what does their service mean to you?
So my brother, he served 23 years in the Army branch.
So I have a couple of veterans in my life. One of them is my uncle, and another one is my late grandfather, and most importantly, my father is a veteran.
My mother's father was at Pearl Harbor and luckily survived.
And his service to me just means that, he fought hard to give us the right to be walking around right here, making the decisions that we choose to make, and living life free.
His service to the country, to me, is largely a guarantee that we have the rights that we have. His service is the morals that our country lives by. And I greatly appreciate that because it allows me the freedoms that I have today to make the choices that I do and to live the life that I want to live. And I appreciate that.
It was amazing he survived, and just imagining being bombed and making it through all that. And my mom has 8 siblings, and one of her brothers was in Vietnam Bill, and he flew airplanes. He used to land on aircraft carriers out in the ocean, which is crazy to think. And then my other uncle was a doctor, and he served in Vietnam as well, and my Uncle Doug. And I just think it's very heroic to be selfless and put their country before their own personal needs and wants and desires, and I'm very grateful for their service.
Who in your life is a veteran, and what does their service mean to you?
So my brother, Captain Darrell Lewis, was killed in action in 2007 in Afghanistan, and so it was actually his first tour. He was only there for less than 6 months, and so it was very, very disheartening for me to lose my brother yet alone. He had 2 kids, one which was about 3 months at the time that this occurred, and so that has been a challenge for myself, my mother, as well as his children's mother as well. And so I do recognize the importance of the service of our veterans and the sacrifice that they make every day just to keep us safe here in the U.S.
Well, many people in my family have been veterans, including my uncle and grandfather and great uncle and many others, but just think about the sacrifice that they made to serve us all and keep us safe and allow us to have the freedoms that we do, and I'm very thankful for it.
Well, my grandfather was he was a first lieutenant in World War I.
So my grandpa Harold is a veteran.
My mother's father, my other grandfather, lived next door to me. He was a tank driver for Patton, fought in the Battle of the Bulge.
One of my really good friends is a veteran. He served in Iraq.
My stepfather was an E9 Master Sergeant Major in the Korean War.
His service means interesting things to me because in one part he's very proud of it, and it keeps our country safe and things like that. Well, at the same time, I'm not someone who necessarily supports war, so it's a difficult thing for me, I guess.
All my first cousins, my older first cousins, all served in Nam.
And what their service means to me is a big sacrifice for this country and for our tradition and part of our history.
And all my uncles served in World War II, some in Korea. All my great uncles served in World War I.
But I do appreciate all the work our troops have done and things like that. I just wish we didn't need to use them as often. I got nothing but veterans in both sides of my family, and so I'm third generation enlisted, and my son is fourth, and my son is in his 9th year U.S. Army right now, and he loves it. He's going to be the first lifer on both sides of our family. We are to love God with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and we are to love our family second and our country third.
Who in your life is a military veteran, and what does their service mean to you?
My older brother, he's a veteran. He was in the Marines.
My father is a veteran. He's a Master Chief in the Navy, retired. My stepdad was a senior chief, and my brother was a chief in the Navy, our senior chief in the Navy.
So both of my grandfathers on my mom's side and my dad's side, one of them was in World War II and the other one was in the Korean War.
And his service just means bravery, strength, and dedication.
And their service means a lot. I wouldn't be who I am today without them. They were good influences and pretty hard on me at times, but they made me to the person I am today.
Even though I wasn't alive, obviously, when they were serving, I heard stories, and it definitely influenced who they became after they returned home, and even how they were as fathers and husbands and grandfathers. So, and it's something I've always admired about them and has definitely had a special place in our family.
Yeah, my father, Robert Holdman, was responsible for saving hundreds of lives in the Vietnam War. Supposedly, he was a gunner, and he was going to drop a bomb on this village, but he realized it was Americans underneath, so they stopped the bombing. Therefore, he's responsible for saving quite a few hundred lives. So there was a lantern walking on someone was carrying a lantern, and that's when they were going to bomb it, but he realized it was a American guy holding the gas lantern. So he realized Vietnamese didn't have gas lanterns, and therefore he stopped the bombing and saved a bunch of lives.
It's a service to people that you don't even know. They are strangers You're serving people who don't even look like you. It is of anybody who has to raise their hand and take an oath and to perhaps put their lives in harm's way. And at the time you do it, you don't really understand fully what it is that you're signing up for. But the first time you lose somebody that you personally are connected with, you understand what that oath you took means. And you either opt out at your first opportunity or you continue on. And that is what service means.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to share this video with the loved ones in your life. And if you want to read more on the service of Captain Daryl C. Lewis, who was killed in action in Afghanistan in 2007, there's a link in the description below. And as promised, enjoy this rendition of Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saves a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see so perfectly. Because of you, I see 20/20. My